Good morning. Okay, this morning is the actual canvas, you guys. I am going to start on the painting Little Me. This morning is going to be, I guess, probably just putting the color on the canvas. Hi, Shamrock. Good morning. Okay, so these are my paint brushes. Not all of them, but a good bit of them. Put them in the jar. So I will add paint to my canvas. Hey, Tracy. So here's the canvas, not as big as what I thought I had one. And Destiny, if you watched my last one, the explanation for this that I'm about to do is kind of, it's going to be the little me girl, the scared little me girl that I was once upon a time, hiding from all of the stuff going on around me, which was fighting. Yeah, the fighting, the yelling, the being the child of 6 that would be the little girl that ran and hid, and the one I was the little girl. Hey, Jennifer. Okay. But I was the little girl that I was always scared. And my sister called me scared cat. I was the one that was always petted by my dad, but there was a lot of stuff that went on, that abuse, a lot of family fighting, arguing, and I was always one that would run and hide and try to find comfort. So I'm trying to, I was listening to Mercy Me, and when he was talking about if he could go back and talk to the 8-year-old little boy that he was then, what he would say to him. And, the abuse he suffered and all that. So when I was in my bed, I was just looking at my grandmother's dresser that's in my room, and oh my gosh, I can't even imagine how old it is. And I'll take a picture and I'll put it on my Facebook, or one morning go in there. The light's not real good in there, but I'll just go in there and show the dresser. And I just saw, hey, old lady dog. Uh-oh. Yeah, old lady dog. So anyway, I saw myself as that little girl hovered. I'm live. I didn't know you guys were back so soon. Okay, well, I'm in the kitchen painting. Yeah, I'm live. Okay, see, Vanessa. Uh-oh.
Bailey.
Now, Bailey, what am I going to put on?
You guys, Bailey done got Mama's pajamas.
Mom.
What?
I don't know if this is Bailey or Glory.
They got pajamas.
Yeah.
It had been Bailey's.
It was Bailey's. You guys, see? Put something on it. Here, get this towel, Casey. I can't believe it. You guys just were bad. That's what happens. They're like children. So I'm starting my canvas with gray. Yeah, see, I had to deal with some children right then, but furry children. So as I explained to Vanessa, I will go with this, just a mixture of white and black and gray and a little bit of off-white, which is antique white. And I'm going to coat my canvas with that and start from there because, I can build up from there. This morning, Casey called me Rose because my mom says she's sitting in there and got tickled because I start with one story and I just jump to another. Well, I don't know why it tickled her or why it surprises her because I've been doing it 30-something years around her. And Casey just came back from taking Mama to the foot doctor.
Hey, everybody.
Did it go okay?
Yeah, they had to put another wrap on it.
Okay. So they're teaching Mama to wrap. Yeah. They had put the cast on her legs. Not hard cast, but ones to keep the swelling down. Okay, so what I'm doing, I am just adding. See, I said I can't work from an easel. I have to actually hold it. So I will work from, hey, Darlene B. Oops, see, always happens. So, yes, gray looks like, it's going to be, oh my gosh, excuse me, the Alabama pollen is getting me. So, it's so easy when you're doing like with acrylics that you can work up from, from grays and blacks, something dark to something light. And my angel wings, and that's what's going to be on here. It will be angel wings. And, I'm going to let the natural light come into this kitchen. Let me see if that will make it better to show up. No? Okay. Put the lights back on. So, you guys, I'm having one of those mornings where I tried to cut the light back on and I did it down, cut it off again. So anyway, I know this mismatch doesn't look like nothing. But you know what? The light on it, it will be the angel wings. And I'm not good at wings, you guys, per se. So this is going to be an actual something that I'm going to have to experience with you guys of how I'm going to do these wings. Because I don't know. I really don't know. I always check to make sure nobody's, on before I do my little thing because my little thing is just it's just me sitting in my kitchen, drinking a little bit of coffee, a little bit of tea. And I'm not Bob Ross, like I said earlier. I guess I could do my Bob Ross. I think I'll put a tree right here. And there's the limbs. Yeah. There's my little tree, guys. And now I'll hide that little tree in the background. See, this is usually the hardest part for me. I know, Darlene, he did. And he's on Netflix. And sometimes I would just lay there. His voice was so soothing and everything. And it was so comforting just to watch him paint. And also, I didn't know that he had a pet raccoon. And I'm like, oh, no wonder I loved him so much because you guys, besides chickens, my spirit animal that I say are raccoons. I can't tell you how many. Hey, Vanessa. Vanessa, I started, like I told them, this is the hardest part is, the actually getting started with something. Yes, ma'am.
Who all play?
Vanessa and Tracy and Darlene and Misha. See, Mama is on camera, you guys.
Everybody.
You guys, Mama, first time on camera. You guys,
And they say, oh no, turn it off.
no, they're not.
Oh, man.
Everybody say good morning, Mama.
Oh, bless them.
See, you guys have done had the full Crawley experience. You done met Kevin. Now, see, you guys, I'm getting down to the part that I will have to put it on the canvas, I guess. I mean, on the easel. I can't leave it there because you know what? The little me. I'm starting that.
Really?
Look at my straw. You guys, look at my straw. I mean, really? Yesterday, before I had to go to the doctor, I had to try to get all the paint off my hands. No, I haven't gotten it yet. Maybe it'll be here today. Good morning, Gianna. Gianna, did you get to see Mama just then? Okay. Casey laughed and called me Rose Nyland. Said that how many stories would she have going? 3 stories at one time. And they made fun of Rose for 3 stories at one time, but like Mama says, I can always come back. I can always come back to what I was originally talking about.
Always.
Well, thank you, Vanessa. You know what? Oh, Gianna got to see your backside.
Oh no.
Best side. Best side. Now, Cheryl.
That's probably the best part on.
That's what I said. All right. You know, Vanessa, all right. They said, Mama, come back here. Mama, come back here. Mama's sneaking in there.
I got to go sit down.
Yeah, she's got to go sit down. She just came from the doctor's office. And one day I'll figure out how to bring in somebody. Oh, and you guys see? All right, let me do the wrenches. I tell Casey, I said, how do I do the wrenches? And he told me. So it should show up, you guys. I hope it does. But okay. But for me being healthy, yeah, now I did get on up, and this morning I was kind of slow. I almost didn't do this because I was thinking, well, maybe somebody else is on. Get my butt up. Let me put on some clothes. Let me take my hair down out of the braid and do something. So sometimes it just takes a little push, and you guys don't realize how much you guys inspire me and make me do things. And there's been a lot of inspiration. And I'm not a 6:30 there. Oh, it's 9:44 here. And okay, I'm going to flip flop again. It's called Southern Squirreling. So you're picking up your bedroom. So Cheryl, when you change the coverings on your bed, do you call them bedclothes? Do you call them covers? What do you call when you change your bed out? do you change your bedclothes? That's what I call them. A friend of mine laughed at me, and I don't know why I call them bedclothes. Okay, so I'm going to turn back around and bring this around some more because it's wet now. And okay, you change your sheets, and that includes everything. Sheets and covers. All right. So I'll just bring in some white, I guess, because all right, kind of the concept is going to be the wings that will come around. And I'll do it on the other side because this will be covered up. This is not the actual wings, but I'll give an idea to you guys as how I'm going to do it. And you guys, this is the first time me painting in front of anybody, and they're not going to be black wings. I just run out of my white paint. But, okay. So, can you guys see that? Okay. The wings will come around off both sides. My nanny's dresser will be in here, and I'll be the little girl hiding right here. And then in the mirror, because my nanny's dresser has a mirror, and right in here will be me. So it will be the me there that's now, and the little me down here. And I have to get with my daughter. So you guys do get the imagery. Let me see. Okay. Yes. So, it's going to be a work in progress. That's what it's going to. Yeah, see, Casey understands the gray. But it's not going to stay that way. That's just to give a thing. I finished that, and this morning, the edge of it, I'm expecting an envelope.
About 34.
Well, she's hoping I got it yesterday. And then Misha got her thingy. We can't say what you got because we can't spoil the fun for other people, Misha. Okay. Yesterday, the doctor told me that I'm coming along, and he told me that he wished that I could do more. Good morning, Tara. He said he wished I could do more physical therapy. He said, "Is there a reason you're not?" I said, "Yeah, can't afford it." He said, "So what's your copay?" He said, 30, maybe $30, 40. I told him, I said, 65. Oh no. Stay under those covers, Misha. But I said, he said, "Well, do they give you homework to do?" I said, "Well, I use my arm as much as I can, and I try to, stay active with it." And I told him, I said, "But my right arm hurts worse when I first wake up. Everything hurts when I first wake up." And so I asked him, I said, "Could it be arthritis that's hindering the healing process as much as I think I should be healing?" Because I usually, surgeries have never bothered me. I would heal real fast and just funk it on out because I am like a go-getter, 2 speeds, fast and stop. And for the past few years, I've been on stop. But I used to could whiz around the grocery store, and it would make my husband mad because I would leave them. I wouldn't think about it. I would just be talking to him and look around, and I'd be done left them. But now I have to tell Casey to, kind of slow up for me. And it's hard for me to deal with it. Morning stiffness is one thing. And I understand that I'm going to have, morning stiffness from now on. I mean, number one, I'm 54. Number two, it's just a part of life, and I've accepted that. It made me mad when they told my oldest brother that he would just have to accept his pain at 34 and live with it. And he was in such terrible pain with his back, and then he had back surgery. And so there's times that, God will let me see things and me not be so sad, because he is the brother that committed suicide. And he said, no, he told the doctor, he said, no, I don't have to live with it. And he was in the military and had come out and worked for a company that he had to bend. He had to bend, and the way he moved, it messed up his back. So, there was more going on with him than his back. But he knew he couldn't go back in the military, and he was having first love of his life messed over him. So just a lot of mental, as we talk about, mental things. And he chose to end it. Oh, you guys, okay. And so now when I'm hurting like I am at 54, and I can't hardly move, or like when I first get up in the mornings, or rolling around at night, both shoulders hurting at night, all the stuff that goes with rheumatoid and osteoarthritis from neck down. That's where I got my beauty mark. I forget who said on one of Casey's. It is brutal, Tracy. And, I do take medicine for it, and I take what's prescribed. I don't ask for any more. When I had my surgery, one of the meds they gave me broke my mouth out, and I've never had that before, but I don't think I'd taken that medicine before. So this was like day 2 after this surgery, my rotator cuff. So I did take, I think, Percocet, and I noticed, I guess they gave it to me in the hospital too, and I had some stuff come up in my mouth. Oh, your hubby has waist long hair? I'm gonna have to go back on your Facebook and see it. But Percocet, you guys, undoubtedly makes my mouth break out, which means if it makes my mouth break out, I'm allergic to it, and it could have consequences, because I knew my head would itch after I took it. So I took Tylenol 3 a couple of times, or just plain Tylenol, because look, I have too much medicine as it is. Didn't want to take extra. So on the days that I'm hurting, and I prayed, I said, Lord, if I'm hurting this way, and I was in my 30s and I was a go-getter, I moved furniture, I took care of my kids, I always had kids in the house. I started my daycare mid-30s, I guess, and worked in daycare, cleaning houses. I did whatever, I could do. And so anyway, I thought, well, Lord, I'm kind of glad my brother's not here, because how would he be? He's 4 years older than me, so he would be like 59 this year. What would he be going through now if he was still here. So I think of that. And sometimes we have to think of things in a different way. I'm not glad he's not with me. I miss him every day. And he was a good soul, such a sweet, sweet soul. But, you know, it is what it is. So when I get up and I'm hurting, or Mama sometimes, yeah, I've kind of slowed down my talking. I'm not all over the place right now. But Mama sometimes, when she hurt so much and she said, what's my purpose? I tell her, woman, your purpose is a mom, a nanny, well, Mama, your friends to people. And now she's everybody's mama on here. So we all have a purpose. And when we get up and hurt, we see through that pain and like-minded people. We just laugh through the pain, we paint through the pain, and we manage however we can. And me, laying in bed, covering my head. There's my mom. Vanessa, no. In fact, when Casey first started doing his shows, I would be, well, heck, that hadn't even been a year ago. I never liked FaceTiming unless it was with my granddaughter, my daughter, or Keegan. I wasn't comfortable with that. Excuse me, and that's with my family. But no, a year ago, I was more watching Netflix, get up, try to move around, hurting a lot and just accepting it. And looking at my art room in there, I had everything brought in, everything, I couldn't find nothing. I would go through there, want to clean it up. Well, I'll finish this, Mama. I'm going to finish this story, then I'm going to address Vanessa, okay? Is that okay? I hear you laughing at me back there. So I was, hush. So I would walk through and want to do things, but all my everything, my tools, which are my paintbrushes and all that, was just too scattered. And I would just go in my room, come out, cook or whatever, try to cook, and then go back to my room and be depressed. But Vanessa, now I'm going to address about loving people that I've never met in person. I have two friends that go back there from, I don't know if any of you ladies remember Live Journal. That was from, goodness, I may have been in my 30s because my daughter was a teenager and she started it. And then so I started one and met some people through that. And I still have two that are on my Facebook. And I've talked to them on the phone. One's in California and one is in Texas. And, I love them. I watched their kids grow up. I've watched their kids graduate. I've watched their kids have babies. And so I feel like that I'm an aunt. I feel like I'm their aunt. And I have talked to them, like I said, on the phone. The one in Texas sounds like my sister. And she's fiery, fiery. The one in California, she's got two kids, and her daughter is a dancer. And every time she'd post pictures on Facebook, I would run through the house to show Casey, and I'd run through the house and show my mom. And so I would do that, and I'd be like the proud aunt. And I said, "Look at her! Look how beautiful! Look at her form!" And that's another, picture that I have saved. Some of her pictures. I really want to do her form of. Oh, it's hard to explain, but it's been like watching a niece grow up, and so beautiful, and it's just hard to explain. So, yes, I can imagine loving people, but I never thought that I would be doing this. Now, Mama would always be on Hangouts like voice only. And to start with, I never got into that because when Mama started it, it was not Google Hangout. Back then, it was chat rooms, and Mama made friends in there. But whenever she would tell me, well, come in this chat room, no, because the first thing that people would do would be, I didn't understand it all, but they would take me to the side, like some of the, I guess, guys in there, and want to know, was I married, single, and all this kind of stuff. And that just, nope, stopped it there. So the ones on Live Journal sharing our innermost journal stuff, and we met on a deeper level because what, the world didn't see what we wrote. We just shared that with the certain people we wanted to share with. So that was like them looking at my journal and me looking at theirs. And even then, you still hold stuff back, personal stuff. So when Casey started getting into this portion of it, jewelry and all that, I would watch the everybody's, and I would think, oh, that is so easy. They make it look easy. And I didn't realize that no, it's not that easy to, I even asked Kimmy because just all over the place. And in my head, I'm all over the place. And I didn't realize, that you're talking to people. Good morning. Good morning. I was just, did you hear me talk about you? Because I know this lags. So I don't know. But, it makes me understand now. Like when Todd's working. Hey, all right. When Todd's working and he's talking and he's singing, and I explained to my mom, I said, can't play music in the background. I could go live on Facebook and play music, but you can't play music here. And so I told her, I said, you have to keep talking, as you're working. So, that this is just me. This is me as I was when I met my mom. She didn't want to meet me. Mm-mm. First thing she ever did when she walked by the window in the cotton mill. Yes, I worked in the cotton mill, but my hair was long and curly and blonde. I had a tan. I weighed 120 something pounds. I was 22 years old, 21, 22, and made to feel like I was ugly. Yeah, wouldn't nobody else have me. So anyway, I'm sitting in there with the supervisor, and Mama walks by. It's third shift. So I'm sitting there, and Mama walks by, and this is what Mama did. He knocked on the window to tell her to come in because I would be doing a frame right beside hers. She looked at him and she did this. You guys know what that is? That's a feather. I'm telling you, that means that's not worth the whole bird. She gave him a feather. That's how I met her. She did not want another person that was like the person that was working beside her, a loosey goosey blonde. She was friends with her, and she was younger, and she was friends with her. Last thing Mama wanted was somebody else. But she took me in. We become friends. She didn't have a choice. She worked beside me. So you know what? Oh, thank you. That's Tiffy's bow. That's my daughter's bow. Mama didn't have a chance because I don't care if you work beside me. I gotta talk. I got to. You might not want to talk to me. Fine. You're gonna listen. So we become real close, and we hung out, and Misha, did you know what that meant back then? I never knew that until Mama. And so anyway, I met my mom. My mom was my saving grace. God led me to her. So because things in my life at the time that came up, and then I met her wonderful son 3 months later. And the rest is history. 34 years of history. And I got to come into her family at a time that Karen, my sister-in-law, she does the quilts, beautiful quilts. I got to come into her life at a time that, her daughter was in high school, getting ready to graduate. The other kids were gone. And she used to tell me that this house, what was it, Mama? The quiet was deafening. See, yeah, that's the way I look at it, Vanessa. I always say, me and your mom have been together longer than we have. But I didn't understand what she meant until my kids were gone. And then, if Mama wasn't here or if I was ever here by myself, the house with no sound, yes, it was very intimidating. But I come into the family, and she was able to tell me stories, tell me her dad made the brickwork, her dad did this, and I just soaked it all in because I never had roots like that. So this became my roots because it does say in the Bible, when you marry, you leave your father and your mother and you cling to your wife, you cling to your husband. Now, we did leave, we lived across the street, but I became his family. So all the stuff Mama told me about the cabinets and where I can show it. Let me see. I'm gonna turn it. All right, up there. All right up there. That block with that round thing in it. Oops. You guys, that is where the wood stove used to sit. So I know Kimmy likes the stories of the old house. So Kimmy, that I just showed was where the actual stove sat. And then I think they were the first to get like a stove, electric stove. I still have the iron that her mom used. The first electric iron thing. I've got it in there, and I'll show it another time. And so I soaked up because I am, part of this house, and it's part of me. So anyway, I've been talking a long time. You guys, you got to tell me. I feel like I've been talking forever. And see, it takes let me see. Okay. I mean, it's dry, and maybe tomorrow I'll come in. I'll come in tomorrow and, start in a little bit of what I want. But I have to get my granddaughter. I got to see if I can get my granddaughter to pose for me because I have to have that imagery. And she's about the right age. So I'll have to get her to pose for me take a picture of her so that way I can do it. Um, yeah, I look around this kitchen and I guess this is my story place. This is my story place. Yes, the little girl. The little girl, like I said, my granddaughter will have to pose for. And I think I have on Facebook some of my little girl pictures, Vanessa, and you can see what I look like. Yeah, Kimmy, that's what we're going to do, whether we sit at the kitchen table or we sit in there, because Casey has a talent, Mama, and Gina. I have a Gina picture hanging up above that shelf that I did yesterday. Up above that, there's this cross painted, and it's black, but Gina done that, and she gave it to us, so her painting's up there. And I have a step granddaughter, well, a granddaughter, my daughter's stepdaughter. I'm telling you, she is designing and doing comic books for somebody, and they pay her through PayPal. Oh no! Why, Vanessa? Did your did they become destroyed? Um, Kimmy, Mama does paint. We got a couple of them in there. She did sipping strokes with my sister-in-law a few times. They went to, I think, Auburn, and they painted some. So I have hers on the wall in there, and I'll have to show them if I come live tomorrow. I'll go back in my my work room, and paint in there. But Kimmy, I guess I come out doing the same thing, because as far back as I can remember, I was given chalk to, do things. And I know one time back when insurance agents would come to the house, life insurance agents, I had one, he wanted me to do a swan. So, I mean, being 11 years old, I just went in there and got my stuff and drew him off a swan while he was sitting in there talking to my parents. And then he took home a swan. Somebody wanted an owl. And at the time, like feathers. I told you feathers. Okay, feathers. Wasn't good at feathers, but I did them an owl. My first oil paintings, and I don't really like oil paintings because I don't understand them. But my dad wanted me to do him an eagle. And oh, I bet it is, Misha. Trees are old souls. So I have the eagle hanging up, and and the eagle was, of course, in oil paints that on the back it showed what I used way too much oil. But I was, I guess, 12, 13 maybe. And I didn't have, now they have art, you can take art in high school, but I didn't have that. So everything just came from me. And one day me and Casey's gonna do a walk around outside, and since now YouTube you can't do it on your phone, he'll take my laptop. We'll show you the outhouse that's still standing. It's not standing for long, but we still have the outhouse out there. And Mama, really not too many people can draw, I think, from memory. We have to look at something. I would zone out when I would do murals. I would just zone out. I would be doing trees and stuff like that. I would not even realize, what I was doing. And then I would have to step back. Tracy, what better ability is there than love? What better gift is there than love? Vanessa, I wish I could do portraits. I did my sister's. I started it when I was in the 10th grade, and I finished it just a couple of years ago. I was, but I'll have to show you guys. I wasn't really thrilled with it, but my sister liked it because, I showed her, I said, oh, this is what I started from your senior portrait. And she was like, well, you didn't finish it. So I did. I finally finished it, and it was on the original paper, which you got to think now. The paper was, she graduated in 80. No, yeah, 80. So the paper was old, so I wanted to keep that. But still, I made an attempt and sent it to her. But trees. I was sitting at the hospital waiting on Casey one day when I had some tests done. And I was looking at this tree beside me with all these roots around it. Go on, Kit Kit. And I took pictures of the roots because I just sit there. Oh, Vanessa, that's awful. You pick up something again and try. It doesn't matter. But I'll end up, trying to paint those or draw them out. The best hands I ever did was Mama's, and I think I showed them. Yes, Kimmy. It's so easy, like with bushes and trees and stuff like that. Even before I ever saw uh, my man do it, I was already using the shortcuts, knowing it does not have to be perfect. Well, Misha, if you think about it, Bob Marley kind of, he kind of looks like a voodoo person. So I have no depth perception either. I have a hard time, and it's going to be hard to keep things within that boundary. So it was easy on a huge wall. I had a lot of space to paint and do things. And doing something from this size and knowing that now I have to center it and all that, that's intimidating to me. And the shadows and light and stuff like that, Kimmy, I try to do, but I don't know if I get it. And that's a good idea. I never got it. And I found out here lately watching some paintings, somebody explaining that like something white. Nothing is just white. And so I would say start out, if I didn't know better, I would start out doing my angel wings white. But the white will have to come in and be the highlights of the wings and not the actual wings because there's too many colors in wings. Oh, you got me on grandma's hands. Tracy, I loved my grandma's hands. Her hands, they were long and slim. My daughter's got my grandmother's hands, long and skinny, and they called them piano hands. Oh, let me tell you guys what I thought of. Casey didn't understand why I saved what I saved. You guys know the thing out of I ain't taking out that the thing is that makes the thing turn around on the microwave. I saved one from an old microwave. Casey couldn't figure out why. I said, no, I need that. So guess what this is? This is my, what am I? Oh, that's my painting. This came out of an old microwave. It's the little round thing. Kimmy, my grandmother died of cancer and she was in her late 70s, but I loved her hands. Oh, you like that cow, Misha? Somebody gave it to me. And the keys. I love keys, you guys, because of our keys that are the skeleton keys to our house. But there was a beautiful one that was on the back door that Gina gave me. And Gina is my gypsy girl. She moved and she always gives everything away. Then she moves back and she don't take nothing back. She did take the cow back, but that was okay because it was huge. It was half that door, and the eyes just was kind of intimidating. So yeah, but let her take the cow back. She didn't take the ricer back, which that ricer makes such great rice. People don't listen. People don't listen to the elderly anymore. The kids want to be on their phones. How are they going to know history? How are they going to learn history of their family if they're not spending time with the grandparents? Uh, you know, I don't know what the next generation is going to be because they don't want to sit and listen to the elderly talk and tell the stories. But, that's the generation that, hey, Cricket, you know, Mama, I saved a disc. Mama said Crawley history, but, and then I have in July, I have a family reunion to go to. And, I never really went to any, but I want to go. Uh-oh. The ghost in the house, Mama. The ghost in the house. Okay, what are you wanting to see? All right, maybe they want to see the old can. What is that? The old cracker can tin that I have? Yeah, I didn't move this. It just decided, hey, I'm gonna show something, and I don't know. Oh, the rolling pin. Maybe that's it. Mama, your mama wanted to show the rolling pin. Okay, okay, great, Mama, Mama's mama. That now, Mama's mama passed away when she was 12. So she didn't get to have her mom around long. But anyway, I guess this is what she wanted to show. I don't know how old this rolling pin is. Mama, you might. Mama! Okay, she's got earphones on. Mama, how? I will. I will. And Casey's about to tell me hush because it's close to time for Bible study. The rolling pin. How old's a rolling pin? So I've used it. I mean, I've used it on my biscuits just because. I mean, usually I do them just out by hand, but sometimes I like to use this. So maybe her mama wanted to say, all right, now you showed the stove, now show the rolling pin. Yeah, so this is old. But you know what? To look at this thing, look at that, you guys. Can you believe that this is almost 100 years old? I mean, and it's a good heavy feeling. Oh, okay. Ah, so Cricket, you kind of can understand. I still have both my moms. 11. I have both my moms. They're just different. My mom is totally different from Mama, and I have a lot of ways like her, but I have a lot of ways that Mama. All right, there it goes again. What is back there? I don't know anything else, Mama. I don't know anything else. I've already showed the sifter. And you know, Kimmy, hmm, that's awful, Cheryl. And I get upset when I look at the picture beside my bed of all of us except for my baby brother. And I look at it some mornings and it makes me cry because I think I've lost, already lost my brother, my dad, and my other brother. So now all that's left is me and my sisters and my mom. Oh, no. You know, I was devastated at losing each of them, but I could not imagine losing all at the same time. You know, you don't know what people go through. You don't know until they tell their stories. And, I guess I could call it story hour. Oh, man. So, see where I guess I feel bad. You find out that some people had it worse. Because, see, Kevin, there's four of them, and they're still, all he's really lost is his dad. And that was devastating to me. Um, I was in family 10 years when he passed, and I felt like I couldn't even be there for Kevin because I grieved so hard. That man, I loved him to death. Oh, wow. Well, I only had my grandma as far as a grandparent. That's the only person I had. The other one lived in California. And Kimmy, I told my grandson one day. I said, "Look, I know you got things going on because he's 14." I said, "But you need to come over some. You need to come over, hang out some." I said, your Uncle Casey, we all love you. And I mean, he always had his bed here if he wanted to stay. Then I took it down because that's my room now. But I explained to him when I took it down, I said, you will always have a place here to come to. And I told him the other day, I said, you need to come spend some time with your papa. Papa's not feeling too good. You need to come spend some time with them. And, I want Abriana to know me, her crazy grandmother. But God keeps me, He keeps me leveled out. And, through making some God jars recently, God really let me see that, yes, He did not take my ability, my art ability, to stop worrying about that. Because I did. I was like, am I still gonna be able to do this? So, you know, I enjoyed it. Now, sitting there separating colors, that was another thing. Um, it was easier to be listening to, Todd doing his 1,000 mark thing and sitting there and separating the jewelry and stuff like that. Was a Yeah, that was easier for me to listen and then look at the chat every now and then. But it's just so hard to get in there by myself. Or I'll turn on my praise music. I'll turn me on some praise music. And that rolly chair I have, my desk chair, it doesn't lift anymore. It doesn't have a back. But no, I'm going to write your name down. Let me get my tablet. But no, Tracy, I, I don't take any money. God provides. He provides what we want to do, and when it when it's Him. So Tracy, do I have you on Facebook? And I don't need anything. Girl, Casey started making me throw away my jars. I have so many jars. But Tracy, I need to know. You better get out of that trash. I need to know. Shower time. Take one from me. The Tracy, I'll look if you're on my Facebook because to do those, I just need a feel of the person. Come here, okay, you guys. I am going to have to do this real. I'm going to have to do a fast stop because my dog, it looks like, needs to go out. Bailey, I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out this morning, and I promise I'll get more than this done next time. Love you guys. See you at church in a few. Bye. And